Hello everyone, my name is Sark and welcome back to another action figure review. I don't know, it's been forever since I've done an actual review, but today we are finally taking a look at the Kamione, or Kami-1 02B, aka Gogeta Blue. My most highly anticipated figure of the year, at this point, honestly. Nothing official has come this close. I've always wanted a Gogeta Blue figure that wasn't just Bandai's over here, but I'm finally glad that someone finally made it. So, without further ado, let's take this guy out and its accessories and see how he looks. Alright, so here we have Gogeta Blue, the Kamione, or Kami-1 version of Gogeta Blue. And there's a couple of things that are very interesting about this figure. So, of course, just for comparison's sake, here we have the Super Gogeta from TonsenArtToys as well. And here is the Gogeta Blue from Bandai. Of course, they are kind of reusing the exact same mold for their Super Gogeta. You can definitely tell which one is a lot more accurate and also has a lot more care put into it at the time, at least. But to be fair, this guy is like nearing his age. So yeah, it's interesting. So yeah, like both of these figures are fantastic, and just looking at the Gogeta Blue, he is phenomenal to say the least. He looks so gorgeous. I absolutely love him. Please focus. Thank you. So yeah, he looks phenomenal. I love the way that he looks. Now granted, perfect. That fixed itself. Great. It just needed to settle. Granted, this figure is literally just this guy. So we're not going to stay here for too long in terms of the articulation, but aesthetic-wise, he does have a couple of things that you could do to make him look different here and there. So, of course, we have the yellow vest that he technically has in the movie. That is the original one that should be the one that he should have had, yada, yada, yada. But it is the yellow vest, which is phenomenal. I love it. But at the same time, they included another yellow vest. Now, this one is more, in person, it's more a lemon yellow. It's not pure yellow, which it's a little bit of an annoyance, because this, in my opinion, is the perfect color for the yellow. You can even see it in terms of the camera. Like, camera-wise, you can definitely see the difference between the two. Granted, I am going to make a comparison video on both Gogetas very, very soon, so stay tuned for that. It's probably going to come out the next day, of course. Surprisingly, the other one has a couple of things that go above this guy, but this guy is still perfect in my opinion. Of course, he does have the other yellow vest, which this one is more like creamy yellow instead. It's definitely more of a mustard-looking yellow instead of like the lemon yellow that he has currently. And I think I like this color a lot more, especially for photography. It looks a lot more vibrant in camera. In person, not so much. And if I'm able to get a picture of both of them that sort of capture the way that I see them in person instead of just with the camera lens. Oh wait, you can actually see it here. So yeah, you can see the difference between, like, just putting them further away in terms of the light. You can see the difference, like a major difference. This one is definitely leaning more towards the orange. Granted, it's not as orange as this one, of course, but it's kind of like an in-between. It's definitely a yellow-orange more than just a pure yellow. Same with the regular vest. It's more so of a yellow-green than just a regular yellow. God, can this camera work? Oh my god, I think my arm is starting to die out. There we go. So yeah, this guy looks phenomenal. I think both of the vests that he comes with look beautifully and very well done. Aesthetically, else, like in terms of just the comparisons between the two, this guy does have the more grayish pants, which of course is definitely more accurate than the white pants. He has a different blue belt, different blue shoe, like, I don't know, the ankle warmers, I guess. Also, a different black color for the vest. This one is more grayish tone. This one is definitely more pitch black, which is very nice. Both of them seem to be in like a matte coating. I think the other Gogeta does have more of a satin finish, but it's still good. I think they really nailed the differences in colors, even just the colors themselves, because they could have legit just used the exact same body and definitely changed the belt and the boots. But they also changed the color of the pants and even the vest, and also the wrist bands, which is very, very nice. Now, articulation-wise, I'm not going to take too long on here, because if you want to see a full in-depth video on the articulation, go check out the previous Kamione and Gogeta, because that one does go into it a lot further. But he does have a double ball peg for the neck, which allows him to look up pretty decently, not too bad. Definitely restricted because of the vest. Looking down also is really good, so he can look down pretty far down, pretty much touching his boobs with his chin. Looking side to side is also really great, and pivoting to the side is also a great addition here. So great articulation for the head. A little bit squeaky, so I definitely have to fix that. One thing about these figures is that they are a little bit squeaky in terms of the joints, although I was able to fix that by just adding a couple of drops of my shock oil. So you win some, you lose some. You could definitely get one that is like pristine perfect. You could get one that's like squeaky as all hell. Just get some shock oil, some Traxxas shock oil more specifically, to loosen up those joints. Not too much, but just a dab of it should work. Now, for the arms, they do get higher than in the T-pose, even with the shoulder pads on him. Of course, he does have like the attached shoulder pads that Bandai started out with, which is not the biggest deal. They are pretty common nowadays, so it's not terrible. You can rotate your arms 360 degrees. Butterfly joints are also really good for this figure, although you could have the figure just pop out, or the arms. The arms do pop out pretty easily, but you can definitely put the shoulders out further than you might have guessed. You can see all of the shock oil that I added for my shoulder. Let me clean that real quick. It's going to give him a little bit of a shine, but that's not a big deal, honestly. He does have good butterfly joint range, which is really nice. Again, it's just an issue of like the arms popping out and but he can get his arms across pretty much. So like you're gonna get good poses with him, to say the least. For the bicep swivel, he does have one. The arms are definitely the more controversial thing. I talked about it more in the first Gogeta video, so go check that out. But they are very well sculpted. They get great range of motion, and they just look so smooth when it comes to the actual figure. So he's just phenomenal overall. For the torso, this torso is also really good. We do have the diaphragm joint that moves pretty much everywhere. No squeaking for this one, which is really nice. Moving forward with just the diaphragm is also really good. Moving backwards, also really good. For the waist, you can also definitely use it to go backwards a little bit more. And then forwards, you can use it to go and get a lot more range before you pop out that joint, of course. One of the biggest issues that I have with these figures is that they don't use like a double ball joint segment here, which is definitely interesting, because that's definitely the best way to do it, but they just refuse to do that, even the third-party companies. But he does get good range of motion with the abdomen. For the legs, he can do perfect splits, which don't look bad, and he actually can get past the perfect splits. Like, he can go further beyond. He can definitely kick his legs forward very well. So, like, look at that. This is literally perfect. Literally perfect. And it doesn't even cause that much issue in terms of, like, gapping or anything. Thigh swivel works well. Sometimes you might have, like, the plastic just stuck a bit. Just definitely force it a bit, not too much. Like, don't yank it or anything. Just little by little, just kind of force it out, and then you should be able to, like, unstuck it. One of the biggest issues is definitely the gapping of the knees themselves. Not the worst, but it's still something that they could have definitely, like, gone over and definitely sculpted better, for sure. Because full range, you definitely get that weird knee-looking joint. You have that big gap right here, and this big gap looking from the front and also the top. Not the biggest deal, though. He does have kind of like the ankle movement that they added with the Daima Goku figure, which is really nice. He goes backwards this far, forwards this far, and with the toe, or with the foot joint, he can go backwards this far, especially go all the way backwards like that, forwards like that, and then just with the foot, he can go forward this much. Toe, ankle joint, a little bit stuck, but it still works. Not the greatest, but it still looks decent. Pivot for the foot, and that's pretty much it. There's a lot of good with this figure for sure. And it doesn't stop there, because the accessories are something else, man. Honestly, you guys would not be surprised with the rating I gave this figure. But let's just look at the accessories real quick, because this guy, man, I'm in love with this figure. This is actual insanity, because holy crap, does this guy have an insane amount of accessories. Just look at it. Look at the screen. This guy was $60. Insane. So, starting out with the vests. You thought I was going to start out with the heads, but actually the vest is, in my opinion, the craziest thing about this figure, because honestly, I just thought that they were going to include the yellow vest. I had no idea that they were including a sort of like more croissant color vest. And of course, he does have the shoulder pads, the two vests, the regular one and the windswept one. And this is the windswept one that comes with the yellow vest, which is, again, the more accurate color one, depending on the scene that you're using. If you're aiming for like different lighting, this one is going to be your best bet, in my opinion. This one still looks really good. Both of them look really good. Now, he does have a Ki Blast effect that looks phenomenal. It is not this Stardust Breaker, but it is sort of like the barrage of attacks that he does against Broly, which still looks beautifully sculpted. And in my opinion, honestly, sometimes they kind of do fail at like just showing you where to put the actual pieces together, because I'm pretty sure this is completely wrong. But hey, it's whatever. We do have the crossed arms section. I've already talked about the crossed arms. I do think they're a little bit too small, but it is fine. They still look great nonetheless. Very well sculpted, pretty much the exact same ones from the last one. Now, we do have the additional accessories for the TIE Fighter that they included. It's pretty much just like a really buffed out Krillin, which, if you want to set them up like that, perfect. So, in terms of the head sculpts, we do have the Super Gogeta Blue head sculpt. This one does include the additional peg hole for the halo, which is also included here. So if you wanted a Gogeta Blue that is more resembling to the Super Gogeta version, here you go. This is literally perfect. I love it. It's really nice. He does have pretty much 5 and 5 faceplates, because of course we do have a windswept hair sculpt as well, very beautifully done. We also have a base head sculpt, which was included in the other one, which is not the biggest deal, but again, it's fine. Granted, it is weird that one of them comes with just the regular head sculpt. Actually, both of them just come with the regular head sculpt. Let me actually double check that. I double checked. It is just the same head sculpt, pretty much. Same faceplates and everything. Not a big deal, of course, but this, in my opinion, should have been a windswept base head sculpt, because a lot of people would definitely buy both of them because they do have enough differences to actually justify the purchase of both. But alas, I'm gonna give up on that. Now, he does have the smiling head sculpt for both of them, the one that's included in the Super Gogeta and the regular base Gogeta, shouting head sculpts, teeth gritting head sculpts, and then angry head sculpts, or faceplates. I keep interchanging the two. I apologize if that annoys you. I usually just say head sculpts because it's much easier in my head to actually say that, but it is technically a face sculpt. For the hands, it is the typical hands. We have the Ki Blast attachment hands for the actual Ki Blast, the grasping hands that actually grab onto his arm, the two Karate Chop hands, the Fighting Pose hands, the Ki Blast extended hands, the sort of like energy sweeping off the hands, like when he's actually done with the attack and everything. And of course, we have the regular Ki Blast attacks without, or the Kamehameha hands without the actual peg to attach anything. We of course have the two different or additional shoulder pads that if you wanted to just swap them out and make them just flesh color, you definitely can. So yeah, an insane barrage of accessories, which leads me to my final thoughts. This figure is phenomenal. I had very little issues with this figure in terms of the articulation, and even just the like quality of the figure felt slightly better. Granted, they were definitely both made at the same time, and if you're getting both, in my opinion, honestly, that's the best deal ever, because I paid like $120 for both of these. That's a lot less than what you're going to pay for multiple Bandai figures. So, in my opinion, as an overall score, this is a perfect 10 out of 10 figure. There's nothing that comes close to it, in my opinion. Is it an objective thing? No, it's definitely subjective. But objectively, I will say this figure is phenomenal in terms of articulation. Aesthetic is definitely the most accurate out of any figure that I've seen so far. And it just looks, it just feels great. It has a lot of accessories that are definitely worth it. And it can give you a lot of variety. So if you end up getting both of these, great. If you're only getting one, that's also fine. Hopefully, you actually enjoy your figure. But that's pretty much all the time I have for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think about this figure and also the previous Gogeta one. Because, hey, why not? But besides that, like and subscribe and all of that sort of jazz. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.